So on example 3, we only have one squared term, and that makes this one a parabola. Okay, so for this parabola, we want the y terms together, which they are, but we're also going to take this x term and put it on the other side. So y squared plus 18y. I'm going to have to complete the square, so I'm going to leave a blank, equals 2x minus 84. I have a blank here, so I need a blank here. Okay, half of 18 is 9, and 9 squared is 81, so I'm adding 81 both sides. To factor this square trinomial, y plus half of b is 9 squared equals 2x minus 3, negative 84 plus 81. Okay, now I want to get x by itself. So y plus 9 squared plus 3 equals 2x. I can divide both sides by 2, which is the same as multiplying by 1/2 in a parabola. I actually want that coefficient to be out here, but I'll show dividing everything by 2 first. So I get x equals y plus 9 squared plus 3 over 2. I'm going to divide both terms, so this is one term and this is one term, by 2. I'm actually going to put the x in front. When I divide this term by 2, that's the same as multiplying it by 1/2. And 3 divided by 2 is 3/2. So there's my standard form for that parabola. Here I've got an x squared term and a y squared term. They're both positive, but their coefficients are different. This is an ellipse. Okay, so I'm going to put the x's together, which they actually are, but when I complete the square, I need a lead coefficient of 1, so I'm going to factor a 7 out of these two terms. 7x squared divided by 7 is x squared, minus 28 divided by 7 is 4. And I'm going to leave a blank, and then I'm going to do the same with the y's. I'm going to factor a 4 out of those y's. 4 times y squared plus 2y blank equals negative 4. And since I've got 2 blanks here, I need 2 blanks over here. Okay, so half of negative 4 is negative 2. Squared is 4. So I'm adding 4 in this blank. However, I didn't just add 4 to this side. I added 7 times 4. So here I need plus 28. Half of b here is 1. Squared is 1. I didn't just add 1, though. I added 4 times 1, so plus 4. So 7 times, now the factored form, x, and then half of b is negative 2 squared plus 4 times, half of b here is 1, y plus 1 squared equals negative 4 and positive 4 cancel, so I'm left with 28. And then the last thing I need to do is divide every term by 28. So 7 over 28 is 1/4, so x minus 2 squared over 4. 4 over 28 is 1/7, so that's plus y plus 1 squared over 7 equals 1. All right, here I've got a 1x squared and another 1x squared. They're both positive. They have the same coefficient. That's a circle. Okay, I want to collect my x squared and x together. So x squared minus 8x. And I'm going to leave a blank to complete the square. plus y squared minus 6y, and another blank to complete the square. And I'm going to move that 5 over to the other side. So it's a negative 5. Half of b is negative 4. Squared is 16. So I need 2 blanks over here, and the first one is plus 16. Here, half of b is negative 3. Squared is 9. So plus 9. Factored form. Half of b is negative 4. X minus 4 squared. Half of this b is negative 3. Y minus 3 squared. Equals negative 5 plus 16 plus 9 is 20. And that is standard form for a circle. This next one, I'm going to have to do some simplifying before I can decide what it is. So I've got 2x squared plus 12x plus 18 minus y squared. And then over here, I've got 6 minus 3y squared plus 4y. Okay, I'm going to collect all the variable terms to the left. So I'm going to move that 3y squared over. I'm going to move that 4y over. I'm going to collect all of the constant terms to the right, so I'll move that 18 to the other side. So I have 2x squared plus 12x. Negative y squared plus 3y squared is plus 2y squared, and then bring that 4y over, minus 4y. And I've got 6 minus 18, and that's negative 12. So I've got a positive 2x squared and another positive 2y squared, so that makes this one a circle. Both squared terms are there, same sign, and the same coefficient. Now I'm going to prepare to complete the square. 2x squared plus 12x. And actually I needed to factor that 2 out of those x terms. So I'm going to go back just a little bit here. So I'm going to factor a 2 out of these. So dividing that by 2, I have x squared. Dividing this by 2, I have 6x. And a blank. Plus, and I'm going to factor 2 out of this also. Y squared minus 2y, blank, equals negative 12. And a pair of blanks to match these. Half of b is 3. Squared is 9. Okay, so I'm just going to move right into factoring that. Half of b is 3, x plus 3 squared. Okay, now what I added is 18, so plus 18. Now I'll deal with the y's. So I'm just kind of doing this in a little different order. You can choose the way you want to do this. Half of b is negative 2, squared is 1, so plus 1. When I factor it, half of b is negative 1, so that's y minus 1 squared. I add it 2 times 1, so that's plus 2. Try to clean that up a little bit. Okay, negative 12 plus 18, 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, now in a circle, I need these coefficients to be 1, so I'm going to divide every term by 2, cancel those out, and I've got x plus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 4. Here I have only one squared term. That makes this a parabola. Okay, so I'm going to move this over and solve for y. So I've got y equals negative x squared. And I'll go ahead and distribute that. Minus 8x minus 23. Okay? So I'm going to end up solving for y, but for now, let's move this 23 to the other side so it becomes y plus 23 equals, and then I'll factor out this negative 1 so I can complete the square. So x squared plus 8x and a blank. And I'm going to have to put a matching blank on the other side. Okay, so when I cut that b in half, I get 4 squared is 16. What I really added is negative 16. So 23 minus 16 is 7, so I have y plus 7. Okay? Then I'll factor this square trinomial. Half of b is 8. Half of b is 4. X plus 4 squared. And then I'll move that 7 back to the other side. Y equals the opposite of x plus 4 squared minus 7. And last, I want to collect all the variables to the left, constants to the right, so I need to move the y squared and the y to the left. So 6x squared minus 24x minus 5y squared minus 10y equals 11. So I've got a 6x squared and a negative 5y squared. So both square terms exist, but one's positive, one's negative. This is a hyperbola. Okay, so now to complete the square, I need to factor a 6 out of these x terms. 6 times x squared minus 4x blank. Okay, then I'm going to factor out a negative 5. Minus 5 times y squared plus 2y blank equals 11 and 2 matching blanks. Half of b is negative 2. Squared is 4. I added 6 times 4, so I'm adding 24. Half of b is 1. Squared is 1. But I added negative 5 times 1, so that's negative 5. Now factored form. Half of b is negative 2. X minus 2 squared. Half of b is 1. Y plus 1 squared. 11 plus 24 minus 5 is 30. Hyperbola, like an ellipse, has to be set equal to 1, so I need to divide every term by 30. 6 over 30 is 1/5, so that's x minus 2 squared over 5, minus 5 over 30 is 1/6, so y plus 1 squared over 6, and 30 over 30 is 1. So there's my standard form for that hyperbola.